Yeah, so I just heard the breaking news that about Kristi Noem. I called in hearing this week that she should either step down, she should be fired, or she should be impeached by Congress. So she is gone. She should be held to account for the corruption that she has shown with the contracting and the way they do business. She should be held to account for the violation of court orders. She should be held to account, frankly, for the violating the constitutional rights of Americans. But this changes nothing. We are in a shutdown right now because we have a rogue and reckless organization that is breaking into Americans' homes, jumping out of unmarked cars, masked, literally slamming Americans to the pavement, or worse, as we've seen in 2 cases, murdering people. We are seeing in Republican-run towns and Democratic-run towns that they don't want them there, that they're making us all less safe, that they said they were going to go after the worst of the worst, but they're detaining American citizens, over 20 American children. They're ripping people away from, parents away from their American kids. This is not who we are. This agency's out of control. I am so happy that one of the worst administrative leaders I've ever seen is gone. But the agency itself is still reckless and out of control, and we should not be funding it until these issues are addressed.
On that note, will you vote to confirm? Your colleague for this
Look,
position?
I've known Mark Wayne now for a good amount of time. It is not about the head of this agency. It is about what the agency is doing in our communities. And obviously there'll be hearings, and I think a lot of this should be brought out. But we have an agency that is out of control, and what they're doing in our communities, what they are doing to the Constitution, their reckless, continuous violation of court orders, even Republican-appointed judges, they are routinely violating those court orders. That makes this whole agency, to me, morally bankrupt.
Do you see Senator Mullen as an upgrade over Kristi Noem?
I honestly, the way she has led that agency, she has demonstrated a complete incompetence. It's hard for me to imagine somebody being as bad as she was.
You said it would do nothing on the funding debate, but what could help unlock that issue, especially now that you have someone like Mullen stepping up?
Well, this is the problem right now, is that even the issues that are being negotiated, Republicans have said, no, they're not going to insist upon warrants before they barge into American homes. They said, no, we are not going to make sure that agents are clearly identified. They have put out of the realm of even negotiation the common sense things we ask from law enforcement agencies all over our country. So even the realm of negotiation right now makes me believe that anything that we come up with is not going to rein in this agency that's out of control.
Are you going to want a commitment from Mullen on that piece before voting to confirm him?
I want the nightmares in our communities to stop. I want him to commit to end the warrantless entrances of Americans' homes, to end the violation of Americans' free speech rights, to end coming into American communities and instilling so much fear, people are afraid to even walk their children to school. I want them to end having ICE rushing into churches and our public schools and rushing into courthouse proceedings. I want this to be an agency that is not upending our communities, terrorizing our communities, violating our laws. I want it to be an agency that's focusing on what Donald Trump said, the narrow mission of making sure that violent people are not in our community.
Senator, you said that Secretary Noem should face responsibility, be held accountable. It seems like something that probably won't happen in a Republican Congress. Is that something that falls to a Democratic control?
No one should be above the law. And what Donald Trump seems to be saying with his pardon of January 6th, violent rioters who beat police right where we're standing, with people who've created incredible corruption, literally dealt with transnational funding of terrorism in our country. He seems to be pardoning people who have done horrible, horrible things. Nobody is above the law. And if she violated the law, we know she violated, her agency violated court orders. You know that she knew that the court had ordered them not to deport people, and yet they still did. I think that she is not above the law. She should be held account for any violations of our law or Constitution that she did while she was in her position. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much.